Hey everybody, Mark Schultz here today, and wanted to bring some really interesting information to you. And I have some special guests here again for a fourth time, and it's Stefan Fosla and Michael Shea. Hi guys, how are you today?
Hey Mark, I'm fine, and you?
Hey Mark.
Excellent, very good. Hey, these guys are with a company called eWingz. All right. Hey, Stefan, can you tell me who eWingz is and what's this company all about?
Sure. So we're a company situated in Austria, Vienna, founded 2017 after a couple of years of research and studying blockchain technology. And we have a big vision at the end of the day. So we're building a decentralized platform which shall enable the industry to share seamless data. When we talk about data, we talk about digital data, which we exchange, or better said, access. And this is without having an intermediary. And this shall save the organization time and money. And that's our vision.
Excellent, excellent. Hey, blockchain is a buzzword, in the industry today. Some people understand it, some people don't understand it, and when they say they understand it, it might be an understanding of the technology, it might be an understanding of the business application, but absolutely there's definitely some confusion out there in the industry surrounding blockchain technology and its real application. Stefan and Michael are here today just to give us a little bit of a snippet on how to unwind that a little bit. I'm going to ask you guys some questions and see if we can't, just take a little bit closer look at this here. Is it, what are the challenges facing the MRO sector in digitalization, Stefan, if you could start there?
Yeah, I should pass the question back to you actually, but you are asking me currently, so we can do that together, but let me start.
Perfect.
So I think the problem is first of all, it's a human problem, most likely. The technology is there, and then there are mindsets, I think, keeping us away in just doing it. And of course, there are business opportunities. Some want to make money, which is totally legitimate, etc. But I think the most hindering thing is our mindset, definitely within the industry. So there are mindsets out there. No, the authorities, they don't want to have this and things like that because we need to have a stamp and things like that, which I think is not true anymore. If you talk with authorities, they are more advanced as we think. They want to have it. So we have been with EASA recently. We presented some blockchain stuff there, and to be honest, they want this, so they want to support this. So I think mindsets are changing right now. It's just about us, just do it.
Yeah, I definitely would agree with you. I always say that belief is the beginning of the journey for digital transformation, and really the mindset of moving in that direction is really a super important part of that. But paper still plays an enormous role in the MRO sector. Really what new technologies and innovations are out there that can change that. Michael, can you help us with that?
Well, really, Mark, what it is that the paper that's still very, very central to the processes that exist within the MRO sector is a great limiting factor. It's a great gating factor that's preventing innovation happening in the sector. And that's because even if you have processes or operational processes that take that paper and scan it back into a PDF or some sort of OCR process, not having the actual data of all of those certificates and associated documentation limits a great amount of innovation, whether it's around machine learning, whether it's around artificial intelligence, whether it's reinvention, collection of data. There's an enormous potential trapped in all that documentation that right now is very, very hard to get out of. And move it back across the industry sector to be able to share within the stakeholders, whether that's the operator, the MRO, the lessor, the airframe, the OEM, the Airbuses and the Boeings, or their different suppliers. It's very hard to move information. So this is, by keeping everything in paper, that's the handcuffs that the industry is keeping itself in.
Yeah, I really agree with that. I've shared with you guys before is that last year I traveled 480,000 miles. I was in 100 cities and in 30 countries, all right? And the purpose for that was to meet with different companies about what they're doing as far as their digital journey was concerned, all right? And my estimation is that about 90–95% of the people out there are still primarily using paper. So in the aviation industry, we have a long ways to go, and you guys are going to make some really big strides here in helping the industry to move forward. So let me just go to one of the next questions here for you, Michael. Is it, you know, what are the business opportunities that are being missed? You know, what are we missing right now out there?
Well, I think some of the opportunities is there's probably several factors. One, there's some that are more operational, some that are more, well, they're all operational. First is around, you're taking that very valuable resource of a technician and you're having them deal with administrative paperwork forms, which really today, there's very, very little excuse to be continuing to do that. Getting this done to electronic forms, even in a digital transformation, where things are signed off electronically, all of this information is key to getting these people, these valuable resources that are stuck doing jobs that are not keeping aircraft in the air, right? And when the industry looks at it with the number of technicians that are hitting retirement ages, and the projected growth in the airline industry, in commercial air traffic, aircraft industry, there is a real opportunity here to move this beyond, get the technicians doing what they're supposed to be doing. That's keeping aircraft, getting aircraft in the air, not filling out paperwork. That's just one of the areas of the business opportunities that are here.
Yep, I think we're missing opportunities. There are so many more there, and we could take so much more time to talk about them. But hey, Stefan, let me come back to you for our last question here today. I want to ask you, how does blockchain and digital technology, you know, make these things possible? How does it all factor into it?
Yeah, so based on the nature of blockchain technology and digital identity together, this will allow us to make it happen. One is in one previous topic where we discussed moving from the login and the password and login paradigm to shift over to the public key infrastructure, which is making our environment more secure than ever before. So this will enable us, and at the same time, it will allow us to give, let's say, physical things like parts, to give them a digital, unalterable identity, and that's then, you know, end-to-end encryption. So if you just do the blockchain on the computer, then there is something missing. So how do I, you know, link the physical object, the good, with the digital environment? So this question is answered, and it helps us to automate all the process within our industry.
Yeah. So, you know, I think this subject of digital identity and blockchain, you know, can be really confusing to people, like I've said before. And Michael and Stefan are dedicated. They're enthusiastic about sharing their knowledge with the industry on how do we decode this, really. How do we understand digitalization and blockchain technology and its business application and the business value and how we make money off of it, you know, within the industry. You know, how do we reduce cost and optimize within the industry? What they're doing also is they're offering a free webinar coming up on Wednesday, July 24th, where they're going to have a more discussion about this and really how you can implement this kind of technology within your organization and to be able to really make a difference in moving forward further and faster with your digital transformation. On Wednesday, July 24th at 1500 Central European time, 9 a.m. Eastern, they're going to do the first one on that day. They're also going to do a second one at 1800 Central European, 12 noon Eastern Daylight Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Time. And on that webinar, that free webinar, you're going to get a lot of value from that, and you're going to learn and understand more about digitalization and blockchain technology and how it's being applied to the MRO, you know, industry as a whole. So I want to invite you to join in that. Down below this video, there's going to be a link that you can click and you can sign up for that webinar. You're not going to want to miss this because it's free information, free education, and who can't turn that down? Hey, Stefan and Michael, thanks for your time today, and we're looking forward to that webinar on July 24th.